call me a nice. Where's the way that Nimagon Twist? Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Game Sketch. Today and only today we are here. That's right, to do something super cool, and that is going to be ranking the best intro level for a 3D Sonic game. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing to your boy, supporting the content. I want us to grow up to 80k, 90k, and 100k subscribers by the end of this year. I don't know if we can get there. We have a few months, but let's lock in. And if this video does well, we'll do a version of this for the 2D games. But let's begin here. So I have made a list, and I also actually just replayed all of these first stages. So we've got 3D Blast, Adventure, Adventure 2, Heroes, we've got Shadow the Hedgehog, 06, Secret Rings, Black Knight, Colors, Generations, Lost World, Boom, Forces, Frontiers, Dream Team, and Shadow Generations. Oh, and Unleashed, sorry. And I was thinking for this ranking, I was thinking just of factoring like everything, you know, the music, does it make you feel like, you know, the journey's beginning? It really is like, can it gaslight me into thinking the game is going to peak? How does it really start off the game? Starting off with the Green Grove Cove from Sonic 3D Blast. This one's like, okay, like, you know, why did I say that like Ness and Smash? I think it's just, it's a super okay level. You know, I think it's not bad. It's not one of those levels that if you play, you would think, oh, I'm about to play like a whatever Sonic game. I kind of like how it's like a little bit open. It's got a nice, you know, song playing throughout it, right? You know, it's got a bit of exploration. I don't like how like boring the ground is. Like the ground just kind of looks the same the entire time. Sorry about that. And I don't know. I think it's a super whatever level. I think it can be a little bit confusing too, right? Where like, okay, you're starting a Sonic game level and you sort of want to run to the end, but like in this case, you kind of have to find flickies to get to different areas. It just kind of, it's handled weirdly. I don't know. It's not my favorite intro stage, but it's not bad. It's fun to kind of explore. You do get a bit of a sense of speed. You can spin that. So I'm gonna go C on it. You know, it's not awful, but it's not one I really care for. All right, next up we have Emerald Coast from Sonic Adventure. Oh my god, I adore this level. Now, technically the intro level of Sonic Adventure is a boss fight, you know, with Chaos Zero or Chaos Sun, but I'm not really gonna count that. I really think that this is the first level of the game, and oh my god, what a level. To this day, sometimes I will boot up Sonic Adventure just to play through Emerald Coast, where you go right in and you hear that now you hear that guitar riff, you're in that nice open beach area, and man, what a freeing level. It's one of those levels that felt so grandiose, especially when you were younger, right? And even when you play it to this day, like, it's got such a good mix of like fun platforming. It's got the cinematic quote-unquote moment with, you know, the whale chasing you through the level, right? You've got loop-de-loops, you've got some open areas where you can, you know, run around a little bit. You know, there's even some hidden spots where you can go around and get some ring spots over there. You know, it's just, what a fun level that just feels so good. And it's like, it's so enhanced by like the music. There's like a little path I really love in this level where, like, you know, you like run on the wall and you can keep running on the wall to get through a secret path, right? It's just like, it's such a satisfying level to run through, to jog through, you know, like not even go through super fast, but like it feels like such a grandiose start. Even when you get to the end and like all the dolphins like sort of like fly over you when you're going to save Tails, like, I don't know, man, I've always adored this level. I think it is how you really set the pace for a new 3D Sonic game. Again, you gave me a mix of everything. You gave me a mix of some good platforming, some cinematic quote-unquote moments, some incredible music, and man, you can't go wrong with a beat setting. Absolutely no questions asked. Emerald Coast is an S-tier intro level. And man, Sonic Team was cooking in the 2000s, because City Escape, you don't even need me to tell you. I would argue City Escape in all of video games, one of the best video game intro levels. I mean, what a fucking striking start, right? You literally just went from Sonic jumping out of a plane with a piece of it that he's using as a skateboard or snowboard or whatever, down into the city as you go down and hear that ding, 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 whoa, into the most iconic song, or one of the most iconic songs in the series, with City Escape, and just one of the most unique levels in the series. It's like the start of it, right, where you're going down the hill, you can press A at the right time on the ramps to do tricks, make it Sonic feel cooler than ever. You can destroy the cars all around you. This level I cannot believe how fucking awesome it is. And to this day, I think Shadow Generations is the closest I felt, to that feeling of a level, feeling like a platformer level and a cinematic level, because this level is so cool. Like I said, you start on a skateboard, then you do some dope platforming, and then you start grind railing, down a staircase, right? And then you can, swing on these swings and jump at the right time to go higher, right? And then you fight some enemies. Then you start running downhill instead of using the skateboard, and you can even do tricks when you're running downhill on the ramps, right? You have that. You have a moment where, you go through a loop and the camera pans to being a little bit more cinematic, right? You have got an open field area that you can run around and do your thing. And of course, you have one of the most iconic segments in Sonic history, which is the gun truck chase, right? And while the gun truck chase is a pretty easy part to go through, you're just kind of holding and running, man, does it make you feel so cool. And that's what I love so much about City Escape, is it's incredible music, it's a sick city aesthetic, it's a great platforming level, and it makes you feel so cool. It really, to me, like, City Escape is everything that I love about Sonic, you know what I mean? And it encapsulates so much of what I love about this series gameplay and platforming into one. Absolutely, by far, top tier, S tier. I don't know if it'll be beat. All right, next up, another intro level that I actually think is pretty fucking awesome, and that is Seaside Hill, right? For a game that I am not the biggest fan of, Sonic Heroes first stage does an incredible job at gaslighting you into thinking you're about to play a 10 out of 10 game. I love Seaside Hill. Again, sort of returning to, this is interesting. What I love about Seaside Hill is it feels like a mix of Green Hill Zone and Emerald Coast, where it is a beach aesthetic, right? But it goes to the more cartoony style of a, Green Hill Zone, which I think makes for an incredible combination. I think aesthetically, it's super cool. I love, the sort of like ruins aspect that it has, but it's sunny, it's bright, it's got amazing music, and I think it does such a good job of introducing you to the team mechanic, right? They at multiple points in the level incline you to, use Knuckles, to attack some enemies, use Tails to go through some higher paths, use Sonic for the speed and the spin dash hits. Like, I think this level does such a good job of presenting why the heroes mechanic can work and work through a level, and it's a pretty decently length first level, right? And like, there's a lot of moments in this. There's a moment where you go into like a little cart together. Like I said, there's moments where you're up in the air with Tails going through platforming segments. There's moments where you're just fighting some enemies. There's loop-de-loops. Like, it has everything from a Sonic level. You know what I mean? I love it so much. I think maybe it lacks that sort of cinematic moment. I think you kind of get that in Act 2, but Act 2 doesn't really count. But maybe it does. I don't know. I think overall for me, Seaside Hill, I think it does a great job, like I said, of making you feel like you're about to play an incredible game, right? Even though the game falters. But as a intro level, like, what a good vibe. I'm willing to go, I'm gonna go top of A for it. I think, like I said, it's missing a moment for me. Like, I still think the whale chase is the moment. I still think in City Escape, the gun truck chase is the moment. I think it lacks that the moment, but for a level, right, that purely introduces you to the mechanics, the hooks of the game and everything, I think it does a damn good job. Next up is Shadow the Hedgehog's Westopolis. Interesting intro stage for a Sonic game or Shadow game in this case. I don't know how I feel about this one, because, all right, on one hand, it starts pretty cinematic. I love the, beginning drop off that the level puts you in, right? But I think, in terms of a level, it feels a little bit more slower pace, which obviously is the point of Shadow. But this level just feels kind of like a clusterfuck. Like, you start Sonic's with you, yapping with you, then you're starting to grab guns, you're fighting these enemies, then you can kill gun soldiers or aliens, then Black Doom talks to you, and you're sort of being ping-ponged mentally of like which character you want to work with. It's not a bad level by any means. I think, there's a unique aesthetic to a destroyed city as your starting level. They kind of re-explored that in Crisis City later in 06. But I don't know. I think Westopolis has always had an identity with Shadow, but it's just a bit of a bland look for a level. But again, it's pretty cool. Like, I think it's a pretty lengthy level, which, is surprising for some of these games, especially later on when we don't get lengthy levels. But I think overall, when it comes to Westopolis, I think it's a level that, like, it's kind of generic, right? Like, again, you don't do anything that stands out too much. There's like a little wall running segment. There is some springs, you know. There is some moments where it lets you, you know, go fast, I guess, but not as fast as possible because it's still Shadow the Hedgehog. But I think it still strikes you, like the craziness of what the hell is going on, the explosions and everything. Like, it kind of feels cinematic in a sense of making the world feel alive, as opposed to having like an actual cinematic moment. Like, I think this is like a perfect B rank intro level. Like I said, I mean, it does a damn good job at shocking you at what the hell is going on. All right, next up we have Wave Ocean. Now, Wave Ocean, all right, so if you want to be technical, right, it is the level design and layout of Wave Ocean, I think, is incredible, right? But it's still 06. Now, for the sake of this footage, I'm showing you guys the P06 footage. But obviously, you gotta factor that, like, this level, I mean, has a lot of issues in the original. You know, like the section where you're sliding in the water, sometimes you just kind of fall off. The Mach speed section is abysmal in the original. Like, I don't know. There's definitely... This is so weird because it's obviously an ode to like Emerald Coast. Like, it is very much clearly a sequel to Emerald Coast. You even have like a moment where, you know, a whale is chasing you. Like, they're trying to chase that original high. But I don't know, the fact that the level itself doesn't work the best, it kind of hurts it. But again, I still like the layout and style of it. I think there's still a lot of cool alt paths you can take. I kind of like that, you know, you become Tails in the middle of the level. I wanted to explore again the idea of like mid-level character swaps. I think that's like a cool idea, right? But like, again, this is where we get into the toughness of like the Project 06 Rewire Brain versus the original. But I played the original, and like I said, while it can be broken, it's still, like I said, the layout of it, of all the game's levels, probably one of the better ones. And so I'm thinking here, am I thinking C or low B? I listen, I'm going to go B because I still think music is phenomenal, aesthetic is beautiful, and I think the layout is really good. So if you can mentally get past the sort of, you know, 06 nature of it, which I can, I'm going to go low B. All right, now for Sonic Unleashed, this is interesting because if you want to be technical, the first intro level of the game is Windmill Isle, not like Apotos Day Act 1. And so I don't know really how you guys want me to rank this right now. Okay, if you want me to be realistic, like, and fair, I feel like saying, like, genuinely, because the first level is kind of a tutorial where it's like, hey, here's how you boost, you know, here's how you jump, here's how you R1, R2, you know, to swipe left and right. I don't know, it feels weird to be judging that, but that is technically the intro level. But I guess Apotos Act 1 is technically the first level. And look, if it is technically the first level and you guys don't want me to screw it over, I would say it is an S rank, right? Like, no question. I mean, this level is aesthetically gorgeous. You have the beautiful Greece-inspired, Greek-inspired, when I say Greece, well, whatever, you can say both. You have the beautiful Greek-inspired platforming sections, right? It's one of the most beautiful areas in a Sonic game, and it's like just an awesome level. There's such a good mix of, you know, boosting, right, as well as enemy kills, you know, as well as rewarding designs for staying on the higher paths, a sick grind rail section over the ocean, right? Like, this level is phenomenal through and through, and it's one that sets the game's pace. And you know what's awesome about it is, like, it stands out even when you beat the game. Like, even when you beat the game and you just want to go through a level, I love running through this act. And I mean, even if you want to count the intro level as the tutorial level, I think that one is still really great too, like an open grassy field, you know, with some boost. Like, I would still say this one for me goes in S. Would I put it over Emerald Coast and City Escape? I don't think so. I know some people would disagree with me, but I still think these two hold that light. All right, the next one we have is Sonic and the Secret Ring Sand Oasis. Again, I think this is one that's carried by the aesthetic and music, kind of like how Sonic 06 is, because, I mean, you have to deal with the Wii controls. Now, even if you get rid of the Wii controls, it's kind of like, it's weird, right? Because the whole issue with Secret Rings and Black Knight is they're very on rails. Now, Black Knight kind of mitigates it a little bit, but Secret Rings feels extremely on rails, right? Where it feels sort of like an on auto runner. But I like the sunset vibe of it. I like the dialogue in it, but it's just not my problem is it's not fun to play. You know, I feel like if anything, the motion controls are more of an issue to me than the issues in Wave Ocean, right? And so I think for me, I'm gonna have to go for Sand Oasis. I think I'm gonna go like a C. I think I'm gonna go a C, like above the the Cove from 3D Blast. Like I said, I mean, I played the level. I think it's fun. If you play it even in a game like Project Reignition, where you have control of it, I think it also still is pretty fun. But I don't know, man, something about the grind railing feels off. Something about it, like, I guess it does have some cinematic value, like that moment where the rock is falling and it goes into sort of cutscene mode for a bit, right? And you can boost through the level for some sections. But I don't know, man, like the stupid pot you gotta shake or some of the, I don't know, it's just there's too much of the issues with Secret Rings that make the level super enjoyable, but it's not bad. All right, now we have Sonic and the Black Knight. Now this is a game that's weird. It sort of has two starting levels. I think it has the tutorial level where it's like, hey, here's how you move and how you swing, right? But then it has the actual first level where you are learning that, but you're also dodging enemies, you're grind railing, you fight a goddamn dragon at the end of it. Like, what a damn good job of setting the style and tone of the game. I feel like the level is a little bit dull in its texture and look. I guess it's meant to be that way because it's sort of like, an old school journey, right? But there's definitely some charm to it, right? There's a charm to sort of like old ruins aesthetic. I like, dodging the bulls. I like obviously swinging the sword. Like, I don't know, the level doesn't do anything complex. Even like the boss at the end of it is just kind of like spam swing, spam swing. It's nothing crazy. And I think, music, obviously, like the like, it's super well made, right? And I don't know, you're kind of just collecting apples. You've got some good back and forth between Merlina and Sonic, which is a cool, nice touch that they do in these levels. But I don't know, I don't really think it sets like a high bar for what the game is gonna be. I think it sets a cool one, right? Like, I kind of like it a bit more. Do I like it more than Westopolis? No, I'm gonna honestly put it under Wave Ocean. I'm gonna keep it in B. I still think it's a better level than Sand Oasis, but I'm gonna put it lower because I still think Wave Ocean, like, to me, is a level that I'm like, damn, that one really stands out. And Westopolis is a fucking striking level, whereas again, Camelot Castle, it's kind of like, all right, this is cool. Oh man, we have Sonic Colors and the Tropical Resort intro level. I love Tropical Resort. I love that the game just sort of starts you in Tropical Resort. You're like, oh, okay, I'm just here. I'm in this interstellar space amusement park. I love the look of this level. You sort of have like, this, like night sky. You see all these roller coasters all around you. You've got like, like you've got some banger music playing through it. And obviously when it comes to Sonic Colors, it's a bit of a simple game, right? Like going after Unleash and a few of these styles to this feels a little bit jarring, but this level is the definition of like, it's simple and fun and it works, right? Like the aesthetic is great, the music is great, the platforming is fun, you've got grind railing sections, you've got the moments of the good, great, awesome, outstanding, amazing, right? When you're like mashing A a lot, which I think is super fun. Or no, is it good? Yeah, it is good, great, awesome. And I don't know, it's just a fun level to me. I don't think it does anything crazy, right? It also does end up, I think of these levels, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, besides I guess Unleash, it also does have 2D sections in it, which I guess when you replay it are sort of more valuable, right? Because you have, you could go back and use the different wisps, but as an opening for the game, right? Like, I've always felt a big joy with Tropical Resort as a starting level for the game. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in A. Now, do I like it more than Seaside Hill? I'm not gonna lie to you, no. As someone who doesn't like Heroes, I still think Seaside Hill as an intro level has the length, it has the sort of look. I think it teaches you the mechanics of the game incredibly well. Like, I'm gonna put it like right under it. But like I said, I love this level so much. It's absolutely an A tier. It's simple and it's fun, man. It makes you feel good. You're like, damn, that was a fun Sonic level. All right, next up we have Generations. Now, obviously in Generations, you technically do start as the 2D Sonic level, but this is a best 3D Sonic game opening level is. So I'm going to count the 3D version of Green Hill here. And man, what an awesome level. I mean, this is a level you have probably seen more than most in media, right? Because you've probably seen so many mod videos, you've just seen so many videos, 4K, 60 FPS, Green Hill Zone, Act 2. Like, I think this is the level that has such a mark. You know, I feel like this level is one that everybody in their mind can picture so easy, you know, with the starting boost, the enemies in the beginning, the ring you can jump through, into the grind rails, into the loop-de-loop, right onto that 2D section, where you go through the grind rails, you know, top path, swinging, going through the cave, doing the spin in the cave, rail grinding through, you know, the shark attacking you while you're doing the tricks, jumping through the waterfall. Like, this level is just so much fun. It's happy, it's fun. I love the remix of Green Hill. And again, this is before Green Hill Zone fatigue really settled through. I don't know, man. This level has always been fantastic. It just has an incredible layout. It's super fun. It's super rewarding to speedrun. It's super rewarding to just go through and play no matter what. And it's just such a good striking start for the game. I'm absolutely going to put Green Hill Zone from Sonic Generations in S. Now, would I put it above Windmill Isle, Emerald Coast, and City Escape? No. Alright, the level from Sonic Lost World, Windy Hill, as the Act 1 opener. This one is interesting, right? Because obviously, again, my issues with the game aside, I do think that this level is a very fun start to the game. You know, you have a bit of openness with the areas, right? You have a little bit of a galaxy vibe where you can go around. It introduces you a little bit to the parkour system. I think overall for me, this level is very vanilla. I will say it's a very vanilla course, right? Like, it does have some cinematic moments, but like, it's boiled down to like you're jumping on big springs and the camera is like cinematic when you're jumping on the springs. But again, I like the aesthetic of it. I think it's fun to play through. It has like some sections that are really angular, right, where you have to like run through them, and it's pretty simple. I don't know, that the level for me it never feels like I really want to go back and learn this level and get better at it, or like that it strikes so much. I think it sets a good foundation for the game. Like, if I'm talking about like a level that like when I started the game, I was like, oh shit, like I might be into something super fun here, right? I would go as far as to say this is like a solid B tier, right? I honestly would put it like under Wave Ocean still, because again, like I really do have some weird affinity and love for Wave Ocean despite its issues. But I think, like I said, it's not bad. It's a level that I played through. I'm like, cool, that was a very vanilla, nice Sonic level, and sometimes you need some vanilla. All right, next up we have Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. This starts as a auto runner 3x3 lane start. I mean, this is awful. I mean, this is just anti-Sonic in every way. It's ugly, it's lame, it tries to be cinematic, I guess, but not for me. This is not even a question. Easy as D tier over here. And also, it says a lot that, you know, the only D tier is one that wasn't made by Sonic Team. So I say that as a D tier from Sonic Team is about to spawn. The next one is Sonic Forces. This is what, like the Lost Valley Green Hill Zone. Oof. What a level that has set a bad mark on the internet. I mean, this is one of the levels that everybody makes fun of, where you can quite literally hold forward and boost, and you could get through pretty much 95% of this level. Okay, it doesn't even present cinematic value. I honestly think the look of it is just uglier than the original 3D Green Hill Zone that they do. I don't like much about this. There's nothing that strikes about it except, you know, Green Hill's looking a lot like Sandhill right now. But it really is, like, it's funny when I replayed, I was like, damn, bro, this level, it really is lame. Like, you really do just hold forward, and it ends after like a minute, you know. It's so short and nothing happens. It's like Coco Melon level where it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like this is it's a very amateur level design, I will say. And, you know, I know the game has 2 level designers. Every other level we've ranked here by Sonic Team felt like it had something to it, you know, whereas this is the most amateur feeling one, where like someone just made a fan level of like, oh, here's a straight path, oh, here's some enemies you could hit, you know, for stimulation. But it's a super boring, lame level. I'm gonna put it in detail. I'll put it above, you know, the Sonic Boom one, because at least like it's a Sonic level. But yeah, no, it's not a great opening level. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this next one is the Sonic Frontiers opening level, Cyberspace 1-1. I'm okay. Here's the thing: as an opening level, you have the striking, like immediate music of Panic, right, which is fucking terrifying, right? You've got another Green Hill aesthetic, and it's kind of a short level. It's not bad, and it's also using like existing layout stuff. I don't know, man. I mean, I love Frontiers. It's my baby, but like this as an opening level is not like the most striking thing. It doesn't really have any cinematic value either to carry it, right? There isn't any dialogue in it. Like it's kind of just like, hey, here's part of a level layout. It feels like you're playing like half a level, right? I will say at least it has more control than the Forces one, right, where you actually do have to fight some enemies. You have a nice like grind rail moment. I don't know, like I would put this, I'm not gonna lie to you, as somebody again who loves Frontiers and loves cyberspace, I would put this in C. I would put this like right in between the Cove. I would put it under San Oasis because again, like I said, at least San Oasis has length, some cinematic value to it. Whereas like the Frontiers cyberspace one is an opening level. It's not great. You want to talk about an opening level that has no right being as good as it is? It's Sonic Dream Team. Sonic Dream Team's opening level is sort of a mix of a tutorial and a level. I think it's really cool, right? How it starts with the tutorialized style of it, but I just think this level is fun. I'm like, what the hell? Why does this level have a gorgeous aesthetic? Why does it have such a great fucking song playing through it? Like, what is going on here? That warrants this behavior from this mobile game. I think that's the most striking thing about it, is like it's a very mobile game, 3D Sonic game, but it looks gorgeous. It's got fun grind rails, it's got fun mechanics, and while it doesn't let you lose too much because it is very tutorially, I think the way it fades up the logo while you're mid-level is something we haven't seen explored really in a Sonic game, and I think it does a good job letting you loose, have some fun. It's pretty linear, but it's a really great level, dude. I would put it honestly, like, I don't know, for me, like, for how shocking it is, like for a mobile game to have the boost, a great 3D Sonic model, a great dynamic camera, like, shit, dude, that is absolutely somehow an A tier. And then last but not least, we have Shadow Generations, Space Colony Arc, Act 1. Man, you want to talk about a opening level that reminds me of City Escape / Emerald Coast. That is Space Colony Arc, Act 1. I love this level so much, right? The music that strikes you right away, starting with the grind rail with Shadow going off. And what I love about this level, again, you got options, right? You got high pass, you got low pass, you got wall running segments, you've got cinematic segments, right? Where you're punching that missile right into one of the coolest shots of Shadow, kicking it, rolling down back into gameplay. You've got diving sections, you've got platforming sections, you've got a whole other dimension with Black Doom. It's got cinematic value, it's got dynamic music, it's got, your first introduction to the chaos control mechanic. Like, there is so much cool shit about this level. Now, you could argue, I guess, like when it comes to replays, right, that the takeover section with Black Doom, whatever you want to call those sections, the Radical Highway sections are a little bit more linear. That sort of level design kind of falters a little bit, right? But I just think, like, in terms of an open striking level, it does such a fantastic job after what we had just gotten. Like, this is what I want from all future Sonic games. I want a mix of cinematic in-betweens. I want a mix of, really great platforming, just some fun enemy kills. Like, I want the central mechanic to be presented to me. Like, I adore this as a starting level. I'm gonna go ahead and put it. Now, the debate is here. Let me do it like this. I like it more than Jen's Green Hill. Do I like it more than Windmill Isle? Yes. Do I like it more than Emerald Coast? You know what? Yes, I am gonna say that, but I do not like it more than City Escape. And I think this is going to be the list I go with. I think I'm pretty happy and content with the look of this list over here. And I think, overall, for the 3D Sonic games, Sonic Team's done a pretty good job with opening levels. I think there are a few duds, few issues with some of them. They can be a little simple, but I do think, the ones on top here are ones that really capture the entire essence of Sonic, where I felt the sense of speed, I felt the sense of joy, I felt some cinematic presentation in them, I felt some fantastic music. Like, I love so much about these. So guys, let me know, of course, in the comment section below, what are your rankings of your 3D Sonic levels? Let me know what your favorites are, what your least favorites are. Did I fumble? Did I cook? Of course. Thank you all for watching. I love you, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.